Hi, this is guitarist Dennis Tafe, and I want to welcome you to part 2 of studio lighting for 20 bucks. Okay, and basically this is an update. Last time I found on Amazon for about $19.95, and it was 65 feet of these little LED, right, kind of lights, right, and it has adhesive on the back, and it's kind of almost like a tape, and you put it around the room. And I want to show you a few things that I discovered in trying to wire up my studio room. For one thing, I thought for sure that 65 feet would be enough to go around the room. However, I decided to be a little creative, and basically I went around the middle and the top as well, right? So 65 feet really did pretty much half the room, really. I'm not quite done yet. And it sure would be easier if I didn't have all my amps and things, and furniture and all this stuff in it, that makes it much harder, and so I've been working on it for quite a while, and one thing I discovered is that, the adhesive on the little lights, well, unfortunately, I have popcorn ceilings, that kind of textured drywall, basically. And it has a hard time, sticking to that. However, I discovered a solution, and I want to share it with you here. And that is this stuff right here. And it's actually from the dollar store. And what it is are little, here, I'll sacrifice one so you can see it. It's basically a little tiny poster board, right, to put up posters. So it has adhesive on both sides, and so this will stick to the popcorn ceiling, right? And so I just discovered that. So there are certain places where it needs that, because it's not sticking quite right. The other thing is, because I was being creative, the corners are kind of something to deal with, and I can probably go back and use this kind of stuff, so that's about $1 additional cost, okay. And the reason, I don't have any lighting on right now, so let's take a look at my studio room. And it's basically, I have to rework my entire studio room, which is fine, but let me show you what it looks like without any lighting. Okay, so this is kind of the studio room. got the door partially closed, but here you go. This is kind of it right here. Right? And there I've got a big old bass trap type deal. A friend actually built, Paul Bajong, but then he moved, and so he didn't need it, so he brought it over here. Alright, now I've got a little remote control right here, right? And I'll show you the little box it goes to in the corner there, and should be able to turn it on. So here we go. Alright, now the lights are on. If you take a look, basically it goes across the middle here, right? It goes up the bass trap, goes around the bass trap, comes back down, goes back up, and ends there. Then a second one goes up, curls there, and goes along the top, and comes around, and there. Now it's not done yet, so I'm not finished yet. And you can see the problem is I've got a bunch of stuff, desks and stuff, so to be able to reach that top corner, right, I'm going to have to use a ladder or something to move stuff around. So hopefully I get that done today. But take a look, and you see here how it's hanging, and it's coming around here, and that's what I have to put up in that corner. So that'll go up in the corner, and then here, you see it's still on its spindle right there, right? So yeah, it still needs work. I need to finish that up. But I'm very, 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 very pleased. Man, what a difference it makes, really. Okay, and just to show you, so you've got, like, here's red, right? And it, you know, so it's pretty cool. And here's all in the middle, right there. Got the amps and things. I think the red looks a little cheesy. It kind of reminds me of a, you know, I don't know, some kind of bar or something. Okay, but it's really cool. I mean, all the different colors you can get. You know, and that's like their version of white. Really, you know. And then we've got kind of a yellowish thing. Here's green. Pretty cool. And you can't really see it around the bass trap, so, you know, right there. So it looks like the bass trap is glowing, you know, on there. And then we've got a couple of different ones. There's a cool one. Kind of a light bluish green. Now, one of the hardest parts were the corners. Right there. And especially right there, too. You see? So, for that, you know, I'm going to go back and use this poster adhesive just to make it a little more solid, you know. And, you know, there's tons of different colors. And, you know, there's the blue, and I really like the blue. It's really cool looking. There it goes. blue. That's kind of a purple or something. And then, let's see, what else do we have here? Well, there's another kind of bluish white light type deal. You know, I'm not sure it comes through on the camera all that well, quite frankly. I mean, so yeah, this is the part. See the spindle there, so I've got to put that up, and it's going to go across here. And that might be enough. I may not do the entire room. I'd have to get more of this stuff. There's definitely a white kind of light there. Man, it even makes the amps look cool. I mean, for $20, it's really hard to beat. Now, here's the cool thing. You could also, if you wanted to get crazy, you know, set the mood. I don't know. You could let's try some of these. Wow! Man, this is like a big concert stage. Look at that. Wow! Okay, this is just a flash mode real fast, you know. Wow! Now there you can see, the bass trap thing, you know. I mean, it's cheap thrills, you know, $20. But man, does it make a difference, really. Now, that's a flash, and you can have a slower flash, you know. But I don't know, you gotta be careful with that flashing stuff, you know, because it might cause a seizure or whatever. By the way, did you know that in video games, like Xbox and so on, if you look on the back of those video games and things, I kid you not, there's a little warning that says that it may cause seizures. I kid you not. Isn't that crazy? Okay. So anyway, let's go here. Let's change it. Okay, now here's a fade. And this is just changes from color to color. You know. And here's a slower fade, I think. Yeah. That fade's a lot closer. You know, but that's kind of gaudy, I think. That's a little too much, you know what I mean? So, personally, what I like is just the non-moving lights, you know? Because there, I don't know if it comes through on that camera, you know, but it's not like too much, you know what I mean? It's just like a kind of accent, and it's really a really nice effect, I think. I'm really quite pleased. I mean, I think they really look cool, look nice. It's kind of hard to show you on the, you know, camera-wise, because it kind of picks it up strangely, the lighting, you know. But in person, it really shows it's not too much, you know what I mean? Yeah, it looks nice, and even though it's going around and I've got two, one in the middle and one at the top, it actually works out really well. And in person, you know, it doesn't look all that, you know, crazy or extravagant, really. It looks like it belongs. Now, on the camera, I can tell, you know, it's kind of picking up the, I don't know what you call the halo of the light, so that, makes it look a little strange. But in person, it really is sharp. It looks nice, and in person, you can see each little light, and it really makes a nice atmosphere, mood, Because remember, without it, we've got this instead. Let's say, here I'll turn it off, and you can see. Now wait a minute, that's terrible. So, well, that looks kind of drab, But here, let's try it again. Wow! Yeah, I wish the camera wouldn't pick up the kind of halo or reflection of the lights, because it makes it look like it's way too bright and things. But I'm telling you, in person, it doesn't look like that. It really looks kind of just faded. That's kind of, right there is probably pretty close to my favorite. No, I'd say probably this one. Yeah, it's kind of a bluish with a little red. So anyway, man, I can't recommend these enough, really. It really makes a big difference in the studio room, And, the camera exaggerates the lights, But I'm telling you, it doesn't come off as, super gaudy or like it's too much, you know what I mean, in person. In fact, it just seems like it belongs there, And then when I have it turned off, it's like, oh man, it's so plain, Now with the camera, of course, it's going to pick up, as I said, the kind of reflections or halos of each little light, Now, I guess some people, put it under desks and things where you can't see the little dots, each individual light. But I actually like seeing the individual lights in the studio room. And man, you'd never guess how much rope or tape light that it took to do this, I thought for sure that 65 feet, would do the entire room, But once you start going up and around things and, and doing two, one in the middle and one at the top, well, 65 feet didn't quite cover it. So I'm going to finish that up, and once it's all done and the studio room's arranged and the amps are arranged and things, and we'll do a third video, Yeah, but I might order some more of these, I really like them. So, yeah, and it definitely changes the mood of the room, which is very nice, It really is. Yeah, and then, going back, I'm going to have to go back and use this kind of poster board, which works really well. Yeah, and this could be something, because if the adhesive on the back of the light is not sticking, then it's kind of ruined. So this helps a great deal. Especially we've got this kind of textured popcorn, ceiling here. Yeah, I really hate that stuff, by the way. So there you go. There's the... And it's kind of cool. Kind of... Yeah. And the remote really works. Oh, and one other thing. Let me see if I can show you that. Alright, now I'm going to zoom in. Or try to anyway. Okay, you see that little white box right there? Okay. And that connects to a power supply down here. And then plugs into the wall. So that little white light, you know, is, if you don't secure it, it's kind of heavy and kind of can pull that tape light down, you know, right here, this little box, little white box right there. See that? Okay. So there's a little screw hole and you can screw it in that way. But what I've found is, because it's pretty light, okay, is just use some of these poster adhesive from the dollar store, you know. And a little piece of that, you know, connects the box, and it makes all the difference in the world, you know, because it's not pulling on that tape, you know. Which makes it, you know, stay on the wall better. You know, now how long it'll last, I don't know. Hopefully a long time. That'd be great. You know I've had it in my living room for, you know, at least a month, and it hasn't budged. You know, and it's kind of in a place, you know, where it's not gonna get messed with or anything. You know. Very cool. So, you know, now I wouldn't say that these are, you know, reading lights or anything like that. You know. Now, you know, they also have one with a phone app. You know, where you can change the intensity and that kind of thing. You know, but let me try one thing. Yeah. So here you can actually, wow, I didn't know this. You can, with the remote, you can have it low power, you know, or high power basically. And by clicking on each little button, you can increase the intensity of the lighting. Alright, let me show you that. On your mood, you can, you know, cut that down a bit. The lighting here. Alright. So, we'll get to part 3 here if I can get the rest of this done. And I'm going to secure the corners, you know, with a little bit of that poster board tape. Just make it a little more solid, you know. And then that'll be done, and then I can get back to organizing my amps and things. You know. Pretty cool, though. Pretty cool. Highly recommended. Alright, see you in part 3. See you next time. Bye.